Okay, we are recording. Welcome everybody to our Thursday night team call. Today is 27th. Oh my gosh. We only have like 5 days, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, whatever days left in the month to hit Success Club. And, if you guys have goals, shoot for your goals, like really go after them because, it ain't over till the fat lady sings is what it says. So they say. So we're just going to dive into the topic tonight because I have so much to pack in 30 minutes. And what I'm going to do tonight is a screen share. Normally I start off the call with, doing our recognition and everything. What I'm going to do is throw together an image and put that in our team page for tonight because I really wanted to get to the meat of this and just go after it. And I may talk a little fast, but this is going to be going on our YouTube channel, so you guys can go back and anything you missed, you can watch this again. But before I do dive in, I do want to give one special shout out to Stacy Frith today for achieving Ruby rank. So congratulations, Stacy. We are so proud of you. And, you're working really hard and it shows. Your team is doing great. It just is a good reflection of you as a leader. So really, really proud of what you're doing and can't wait to see what's ahead for you. Okay, so diving right on in. I'm going to do a screen share. So I'm going to have you guys give me a thumbs up when you can see my screen. You all good? Okay. I'm going to minimize this little thumbnail thing. So hopefully that kind of hides things. And I don't know, let's see. Can you guys still see me or no? You can, okay. Okay, just for the sake of, because I don't know if I gotta move this around. I don't want anything to get in the way. I'm gonna kind of move, don't close that out, oh my goodness. There's always gonna be technical stuff. Okay, so hang on. Okay. All right, so tonight's topic, you guys, running successful challenge groups. I wanted to talk to you guys about running these successful challenge groups because this is such a hot topic and it's the bread and butter of our businesses. So this is what everybody has kind of been asking for. And running successful challenge groups, you guys, really means, filling these up. So I'm going to spend a good chunk of time tonight talking about, filling these groups, kind of how to keep them engaged and how to lead into these groups. And I also wanted to point out, because I know that there's a lot of newer coaches who might be concerned that you need to have a transformation or a big success story in order to start. But you guys, you don't have to be in perfect shape, to be running these challenge groups, and a successful one at that, or attracting people and helping and supporting them. And if you're a newer coach and you haven't quite had a lot of experience yet with, our products, with the programs, with Shakeology, and you're dealing with that, I'm going to encourage you to bust out a week's worth of results. Drink your Shakeology, take your measurements. Your results are going to get people's attention. So, you don't have to have finished a program to start this. Just get really aggressive about getting some results right now, however that may be. So my first few challenge groups I wanted to tell you guys as a new coach, when I first started, they didn't have challenge groups. So I tested the waters, and there were no challenge packs or anything like that. And, even once they were introduced, I'm going to be honest, mine totally sucked. Okay. So if you are a new coach and you start a group, if that happens to you, it's okay. It's kind of to be expected. So I just want to kind of start off by putting that out there for you guys so that that we're all on the same playing field. We all start out the same. And hopefully you can take some of these tips tonight and find them helpful, and that you can help a lot of people in your groups. Okay. Whoops. Hang on here. Hopefully my slides will show up for you guys. Okay, so I want to start with the super basic question: why do challenge groups matter? It's important for you to understand why you need to run challenge groups so that you see the value. It's not only is it going to help you hit Success Club, because you're able to create a sense of urgency and you're setting a date for when people need to join you, but this is where you're going to get to help people. it's obviously how you're going to grow your business as well. You're hitting Success Club, you're finding your future coaches, which we're going to talk about a little bit later, and you're going to be building relationships and watching your challengers build relationships with each other. And it's really, really awesome to see, and just to kind of be a part of yourself. And it's something that your team can also duplicate. And we can't just tell our coaches to, go and hit Success Club. We've got to show them, hey, I'm running challenge groups every month. This is how I help people. This is how I find great coaches, and this is how I move my business forward. So you've got to be running challenge groups every single month if you are serious about this business. And I know you guys are, because you guys are all here and you're listening to this call right now. So I want you guys to think about what the perfect challenge group looks like. And I think all of us would think of these things that are listed here. Are people engaged and having fun? Are they finding that accountability that they didn't have at the gym or, with their goals before? And, are they getting results and paying it forward, whether they're bringing a friend into the group or becoming a coach? So you want to keep these things in mind when you're thinking about, what's the theme going to be for my group? When am I going to run it? How am I going to run it? We're going to talk a little bit later on how to keep people engaged, but, always keep these core things in the front of your mind. What does the perfect challenge group look like? So that you can reflect every week on your challenge group. Am I doing the things that are getting these behaviors out? Okay, so now that, we know what we want our challenge group to look like, we want to talk about where to start. So the first thing that you want to do is decide what type of challenge group you want to run. And what is so cool is, it's not just about a 30-day or a 21-day group, because we have all sorts of different groups that you can run. Groups like free clean eating groups, which I just posted about, 30 minutes ago or so. Free water groups, any way that you guys can add value and start to understand what people's goals are, and get them connected to you is just a great way to start. Like this clean eating group that I started. I usually start these clean eating groups 2 weeks before a challenge group starts, so that I kind of have a break in between the two. And, you can get people hooked on results and hooked on the atmosphere of the group, the support, and just having that accountability. And they're going to want to know about your upcoming 30-day or 21-day group. And I usually, in that 5-day group, I'll invite them to a 21-day group when that one ends. So if you haven't run a free group yet, why don't you guys pair up with another coach on our team? Or if you're a new coach and you're one of my personally sponsored, or you want to tap into one with me, you're certainly welcome to do one with me in the one I'm putting out here. And, just get a free group running. There are meal plans that we have, you guys, that you can use and offer to people so that you can give for nothing and, get them excited and show them how to get results. And, they don't know what a challenge group is. We do, because we're doing these every single day, but some of them don't know what that looks like. So I love that these groups give you an insider look. They get to really see what we do behind the scenes, and we get to add value to their lives. So these 6-day Shakeology groups are a great way to also get people hooked on Shakeology. Now that we have that super sampler pack, I think it's called, where you can try every flavor, and they can pick a flavor that they want for when they join your challenge group with a challenge pack. So those are super fun and really easy, because, they just go on your website, and you don't have to go and buy a box and, ship them out to people. I did that so many times, and you have to wrangle, envelopes and pay extra postage and all that stuff. And, they kind of do all that for you by sending out these little 6-day sampler packs, and you're just going to give a little bit of time to get these packages in the mail to them when they order. But those type of groups, they're ready to rock. You check in with them daily. You give them a little extra tip here and there. and, you get them familiar with Shakeology. And the other things like 3-day refresh, ultimate reset, there's a ton of different groups that you guys can run. And I know since the 21-day fix has come out, a lot of coaches have realized, that some of the 30 and 60-day groups can be a struggle. They're kind of like, especially 60-day groups are kind of a thing of the past because, you get to week 3 and maybe week 4 and people just kind of fizzle out. And it's, it gets to be a really long time to keep them engaged. So I feel, and I've noticed that I have the most success from 21-day groups. They're excited, they don't lose steam yet, and they can always just kind of roll into your next challenge group, which is also what we're going to talk about a little later. So now you guys decide what kind of group you want to run. I want you to get out a calendar, and you're going to want to think about your invitation. You always want to be ahead of the game in your business. You want to be setting your challenge group dates up for at least the next 3 to 6 months on your calendars. So I want you guys thinking about what kind of group you're going to run, and then you're going to rewind back 2 weeks, and that's when you're going to set a date for that group so that you have a week to promote and talk to people. Maybe a week out, you give them, the last chance to join your group, and they're going to need time to get their stuff in the mail. But that's kind of, a magic time so that you can really utilize those 2 weeks that you're talking about your challenge group. And you're having those conversations. And then the 2 weeks after that, you kind of get to give for nothing, I guess, on your social media and, share your journey, share your tips. You're gearing up for the next time that you're going to start talking about your next challenge group, because you're going to know for the next 3 to 6 months when you pull out your calendar when those groups are coming. So you can post those, money before and after photos that, you can be sending out private invitations along with that, but putting out that great content to get people curious. So now you have a date and you're figured out what kind of group you're going to run. And now I've listed a few different options on the different kinds of invitations. And for a lot of coaches, private invitations is where it's at. And that's where the bread and butter is of the business. I have a lot of success private inviting people. There's, several simple templates out there that would help with the private invite process. Let's say you could say something like, hey, so-and-so, I don't know if you know anybody that would be interested in this 21-day boot camp that I have coming up, but it's going to be super fun. I know that you're in all those, running groups or those mommy boot camp groups, and I see you guys doing stuff in the park together, and I just didn't know if you or any of your friends would be interested. So something like that. It doesn't have to be scary or offensive, and it's just kind of nice to just say, do you know anyone? Because then they're like, hey, what about me? I would be interested. So private invitations. You're also going to start to have a huge list of people, you guys, that you're going to follow up with who've responded to your private messages or your social media posts in the past. So always have that list ready to check in with people, especially when they were really interested in getting healthy, but it just wasn't the right time. And now, when 21-day fix comes on sale, or, the size that challenge pack that's on sale right now, you can use that as a leverage point to talking to them. And, then there's also, hey, I know it's, back to school time coming up. Are you thinking, you might have a little bit more time? I'd love to have you in the group now and help you reach your goals. So fortune is in the follow-up, you guys. Make sure that you're tracking the people that you're talking to and using that as a way to fill your next challenge group, because some people just need a little bit more time and they always come back around. Let's talk about the biggest one of all of these, on this, when it comes to the social media post, crafting your post, what kind of things work on social media. So on this slide that I made, I included a few kind of do's and don't examples. So you see the one that I did on the left from a long time ago that's got the big X, or it's a semi-big X that I attempted to make on there. Clearly, in this post, I was just still kind of learning. I didn't have my coaching voice yet. And, you see all these Beachbody images, they were just pulled right off the internet. Okay. And, there just wasn't any depth to that post. There wasn't a feeling, but, you guys now, you have an opportunity to share a story, and we have got to get people's attention in the news feed first, and then we can go ahead and tell the story. I know if I saw this picture here on the left, I would keep scrolling, because, and maybe you guys would too. And I don't like how that makes me feel. So you try to be objective and look at your posts, or ask another coach on your team to take a peek at it for you before you post it, and say, man, would this grab my attention, or would it make me want to run? And I know this first post would have made me want to run if I saw it today. So the other example that I'm showing you is how you would use a Transformation Tuesday maybe to highlight your results, or a challenger or a fellow coach who's maybe used the 21-day fix extreme. You could use it as a motivational Monday or a Transformation Tuesday to tell a story, you guys, and then just invite people to join you. We're part of a really big team. Lots of people have had transformations and results. So feel free to pop in the team page, you guys, and just ask, hey, does anybody have a rockin', fix results or size results that I can share? People are usually willing to share. But let's be showing real people and telling stories. And of course, your results work. And it's just great for people to see that. But, asking other people in the team is good, because we're not always personally cranking out our own results all the time. But again, tell a story and really touch on the things, how we feel, how we felt when we needed a challenge group and when we went through it, and the common things that we hear from people. Say there's this new mom, didn't have a lot of time because she had a new baby. So 30-minute workouts helped her gain her confidence back and see results. We have an opportunity to really touch on things that we know people are feeling. So don't get discouraged. Just keep working through it. Posts are going to work. Posts are not going to work. You got to find what works for your following and your audience. That's huge too. So you want to cater to the people that you're talking to. So keep posting and keep trying, and just have fun. And add your feelings and your spin to the post, and post often, you guys, especially when you're gearing up for groups, at least once a day, once every other day, sprinkle in asking. You got to go for the ask. So the last option is for an invitation. Excuse me. It's a Facebook event. And I know a lot of coaches have success starting event pages for challenge groups. I just did one for my five days clean eating that I just opened up now. But you do that for a few weeks out, or for a new program. I know I've seen Alicia do that for a new program, and use that as a way to reach new people, and people on their friends list or friends of friends, because if you make that event public and people they're going to end up finding you. You can release just little bits of information on the page to get people excited, talk about the meal plan that's associated with the program, post yourself doing one of the workouts, whatever you want to do to kind of raise the energy leading into this event to get people really excited. That can be, do a countdown or something. That can be a really fun way to generate interest and kind of fill your challenge groups. Okay, so let's talk about, once we got the conversation in progress, once someone has reached out or commented on a post in a private message and they're interested in more information about your group, this is my biggest piece of advice for you guys, okay? I need you to hear me on this. It's to slow down and get to know the people that you're talking to. I know as a new coach, it was really, really hard for me, and I blew it. I'm not going to lie. I blew it on a lot of conversations when people would message me. Hey, I saw TurboFire on an infomercial, where can I buy it? And then I'd send them a link, and I never would hear back from them because, maybe $120 wasn't something they were ready to see the value in. And I didn't know what their goals were. I didn't ask what their goals were, and maybe that was a terrible option for them. Maybe they had an injury or something. And so I'm just going to encourage you to really slow down, ask people questions, and listen. And I always ask leading questions, that are going to help me to understand if they really need a challenge group or maybe just a program that we have to offer. So I always, always, always ask what their biggest struggles are. Is it time? Because if they're saying time, I'm asking them to give me a reason to tell them they need something. You guys, so it's, if it's time, we've got these great 25, 30-minute workouts. Is it diet? Great. We've got meal plans, portion control containers. We got Shakeology. Is it support? Because, our challenge groups are what set us apart, from every other journey that we've been on to get healthy. And I will also ask them what their 30, 60, 90-day goals are. And, just get them talking about where they want to be and how they want to feel at the end of it all. So this next kind of tip that I'm sure you guys have heard before, a lot of other coaches on other calls have said this, and this is where I picked it up from, feel, felt, found. And it's great. It's a great way to just let somebody know that you've heard them. I totally understand how you feel. I was nervous too about the price of $140 for my challenge pack because my husband was laid off at the time. We only had one income coming in, and I had never tried Shakeology. And what I felt was that I was scared, but I wanted to give it a try. And I knew Shakeology had a 30-day money-back guarantee. And what I found was I felt better than I had in my entire life. And it was worth every penny, and I would do it over again. And I think it's really going to help you reach your goals because of X, Y, and Z, their goals. So relate it kind of back to your story when you're talking to them. We all had that little question mark before we joined as a challenger or as a coach. So use that when you're talking to people. Use it if you have heard it with, your other coaches. I totally know how you feel. One of my best coaches felt the same way when she joined a challenge group, and what she found was XYZ. So, it's just a great way to let people know that they're heard and to answer their fears or limitations and offer them a solution. So listen to their needs so that you can give them those solutions. And I wanted to also quickly touch on another kind of little 4-step process that I had heard that's kind of similar to that. So the first step is looking for the struggle. That's where, you ask these leading questions where you want them kind of, digging into the nitty-gritty of what it is that they really need. And the second stage is solutions. So that's where I get the opportunity to kind of recap everything they said and then offer them a solution. So step 1 is their struggle. Step 2 is the solution. And then you kind of want to weave this third step into this, which step 3 is objections. But I think that if you slow down and you listen to what people are saying, what their objections are going to be. Most likely it's going to be price, because we all hear the price objection. And we've all been there, and maybe we've had conversations where we're actually avoiding saying the price. And then it makes it harder to kind of bring that conversation back around. But when I lay it out, I totally hear you. I felt the same way, but I think you'd be the perfect candidate for the 21-day fix because, the 30-minute workouts are going to fit in your busy schedule. And I know you said you're struggling with breakfast. And, when you're trying to get your kids out the door in the morning, I think Shakeology would be a great solution for you. It's helped me in my cravings and my energy and my digestion, and it's just amazing. And you get a full month's supply of Shakeology. You get a full workout program. You get full 30-day access to the on-demand workouts. I show them the value, all of the value that I can, in that solution stage. So then I can say all of these goodies that I just shared with you, you can get it for $140 for one time. What do you think? Does it sound like something you want to try? You want to let the elephant out of the room and be confident in the cost. People are spending half of that in a month on a gym membership that they don't use. I was there. I will raise my hand. I was there. You know how you feel, about these products. So just be confident. So in that objection phase, you're answering all those. And now they got to tell you no, even though you've given them a solution to each one of their problems. And so even though they do tell you no, or they disappear every single day like a ghost on Facebook and they never write you back, which I know we've all been through, they always come back because they heard you. You listened to them and you told them you have something for them. So they just need to come back on their time. Okay, so let's talk about, now they're in your challenge group, how to set challengers up for success and to set expectations. So these are just a few things that successful coaches have found that helps create successful challenge groups from the get-go. I know for me, I've tried many different ways, you guys. One is I've created a welcome video, and I'm, in that video, I kind of go over everything, showing them the file section, showing them the photo album, showing them where they can find meal plans or find the on-demand on teambeachbody.com. All that kind of stuff is great to do in a welcome video. And that way, they can connect with you. And I know that videos can make us uncomfortable. It's a no-brainer. But once you start doing it, you get used to it. And if you want to see one of my videos I did, I can sure post that in the page or send it to you privately, as I have that stored on YouTube as well. And so you can talk about all these things that I've listed here. And you can encourage them to set goals, drink Shakeology daily, let them know what to expect from you. Are you going to be posting daily things for them to do? Are you going to create a cover photo with daily things for them to check in with? People like to have fun with like fun daily themes like water challenges, whatever works for you and excites you. And what I found, I think is good to know, is just like social media evolves, so do our challenge groups. We have different groups of challengers, and some of them don't like what we're doing, so even now, 5 years in as a coach, I'm still trying something new, and I'm doing something new again this month, just to kind of keep things fresh. And so be flexible with your groups, try things out, see what your challengers are asking for. And I think that's really going to take the pressure off of you to think you're going to get it all figured out. It's really simple. We've just got to give them support. We've got to get them to check in daily, whether we, give prizes or create point systems. How to keep your challengers motivated is your role as a coach. So we can set the expectations and kind of let them know what's going to go on in the group. But now your role as a coach, I know for my challenge groups, they're most successful when I lead by example, and I post my workouts and my Shakeology and little things, like the other day, it's like drinking my apple cider vinegar and lemon water for energy. Post that in the group and encourage everybody to start their day with something like that. So be on that journey of improvement and growth, with them, so that they're inspired to check in and that they know that the road to growth is always unraveling. They see you as the coach continuing to try new programs and working on yourself. And it's going to inspire them as challengers to do the same. Okay, next slide. Oops. Okay. Hopefully that worked. Okay, so the other things you guys can be doing, like I mentioned, is creating daily posts with little calls to action, getting them to talk about 5 of their favorite things or 2 goofy facts about themselves, anything that can keep them engaged with each other and letting loose, having fun, make it a happy place for them to want to come to. I know, sometimes as coaches, we get really excited and we want to post a lot in our groups. And that can really overwhelm people. And that's where you have to evaluate what's working for your group and your challengers and check in with people weekly. And I think it's a really good system to have. I recently started sending voice messages on the Messenger app to check in so that they can hear my voice and add a little more human touch to it. You know, you might have some wallflowers in the group that are rocking it and, you know, lost 10 pounds, but they're just not checking out, you know, checking in the group. And they're watching from the outside, and you message them to check in, and it turns out they're doing fine. And you're like, man, post this to the group, you know, or you follow up and they say, thank you. You know, I was feeling overwhelmed because I missed posting. And, you know, you want to let them know that it's a safe place for them to come back to always when they're ready. So other things, creating value around Shakeology is huge for your challenge groups. It's just a good practice for your business and something, you know, you can pay forward to your team. You know, getting people to know the value of Shakeology. If you're talking to enough people in a week, say, you know, you could end up with 6 or 7 HD orders go through in a week. You know, that could cover a car payment. You know, there's so much value for our customers and for our, you know, and for us really as business owners, you know, that it's important to show them that you're drinking Shakeology. You know, talk about the different things that are in Shakeology, why it's important to drink it daily, you know, not just once every 3 days because they're trying to, you know, let their bag stretch out for 3 months. I know I've heard that. All of these things we can do to keep our challengers motivated and engaged and really seeing results. And that's the main goal. You know, that's why they're here and why we are here for them. So create fun themes. If point systems work, then great. Check in personally with them one-on-one. Do all this stuff, and your challengers are going to know that you love them and you're there for them, and you're going to run some really rockin' challenge groups. Okay, so I want to talk about one of the big important things. One of my favorite things is turning challengers into coaches. I know that challenge groups are where I have found my top leaders on my team. That's where they started their journey. And what's amazing about the process is that they have to become an advocate for the products first, you know, and by the time they join your team, they've got people asking them what they're doing. They've got people that they want to invite to the group. And, you know, they get to start with that fire, you know, and that they believe in these products, and they're so excited to share. So really pay attention to those people in your challenge groups. You know, I think a lot of times you come in knowing like, oh, they're going to be so awesome. You know, maybe they're somebody that's on your dream list, your dream team list, you know, but they just wanted to start as a challenger first in a challenge group. You know, so here's a few things that you can do to foster that relationship so that they can become coaches when they're ready. So when you're in your challenge groups, identify the standouts. Who's posting every day? Who's offering advice and checking in on other people's posts in the group? You know, maybe they're posting daily inspiration. They're loving Shakeology. All these are just signs, and you need to let this person know that there's an opportunity and they would rock it. So highlight their results and give them shout outs. You know, I know one other coach has had success with a few months back that posted challengers' results. You know, ask them, hey, can I shout you out? You're amazing. I'm proud of you. So she posted this gal's results to her social media, and it just blew up. And this girl saw what she really had to share with people. So she became a coach that week and became a success starter. And so sometimes they just need to know that we believe in them and that we're proud of them, you know, before they believe it in themselves. So don't be afraid to ask to share results. A lot of times they're flattered. Sometimes they might say no, but even just saying that they had something worth sharing doesn't hurt. You know, encourage and thank them with personal messages. Thank them for checking in. Hey, I was busy all day with family on Sunday, but, you know, I popped in the challenge group and I saw you were in there answering questions, you know, and keeping that group alive, just totally, you know, motivated and inspiring other people. And I'm just grateful for you and that you're in this group. You know, guys, it's just simple little messages like that, you know, really fuel somebody's fire. You know, again, I like to use that Facebook voice messenger. Some might think it's super creepy, but it's a quick way to message all your challengers in like 5 minutes, and it's personal and it's kind of fun, and they realize that you're just a goofy human like them. Sometimes we just have to ask them, you guys, have you ever considered being a coach? You're doing what successful coaches do. You're seeing results. You have referred a few of your friends to the group, and that's really when I don't let them tell me no. Sometimes they do, and I'm like, girl, you got to become a coach. You're doing everything the top coaches do. And then, I let them sit with that. Wow, really? Believe in them before they see it or believe in themselves. I know some of you on this call, we've had this kind of situation before, and you did come around. So I think, you're going to be surprised at their reaction. So pay close attention to your challenge groups. That's why it's so important to be in them and be leading by example and running strong groups so that your potential coaches get excited about joining the same thing. So your challenge group now, it's wrapping up. Okay. You have people joining as coaches. You're super stoked. Okay. So now what do you get to offer up? What's next to the group. The group ends and people are going to be asking you what is next. And these are the things that you can ask your challengers. Do you want to do another round? Maybe they're doing a 21-day fix and want to do another round of that. Do you want to change it up and try the 21-day fix extreme? Maybe they want to become a coach and help you lead the next group. Maybe they want to bow out for this round. You could stick them in an ongoing accountability group just to keep them warm to the idea of coming back, but don't take it personally if they decide to bow out. I've had a few challengers that have backed out, and, a couple months later they come back and they're actually ready to become a coach. So just support people on reaching their goals and making sure you're doing what's best for them. And the best always comes because you leave the door open and they don't feel any pressure, and they will gladly refer people to you and come to you if they need something. But sometimes that's what they need. So I just want to wrap up, you guys, and give you a little bit of homework. I know with all the calls available to listen to in the network, it can be really hard to put stuff into action. So what I want you guys to do is schedule your challenge group if you haven't. Schedule it from 2 weeks away so that you guys can start talking about it and begin inviting. Sometimes we put it off, but it's so important to be planning and to be 2 steps ahead with your business. So plan your next challenge group and schedule your groups for the next 3 to 6 months on a calendar. You can do this with your 21-day fitness group and then rewind to where you're going to run your free group 2 weeks before that. And, at first I thought scheduling all these things on a calendar would really tie me up. But in all actuality, you guys, it gave me more freedom because I knew when I could, just kind of have fun in my business, post about family, and I knew when something important was coming up and I had to start thinking about what I was doing, what I was going to share, how I was going to share the opportunity for my next challenge group. So I challenge you guys to do that so that you guys can get rocking your groups and get them full and get them ready to go just in time. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys, and I hope to hear that you guys hold on a sec. I hope you guys are, going to be setting up your groups, and if you have kind of any questions, I want you guys to pop in the team page and